What would be let's say a 3-year plan for someone who's thinking, okay, in 3 years, I want to be ready to buy my first home?
Got you. So I'll give you the 3-year plan as concise as possible. Number one, I'm going to look at the camera real quick. Number one, you're going to connect it with a real estate agent. That's going to be your point person to put you in contact with your next person, which is going to be a mortgage broker, okay, or a bank or some sort of lender. What you're going to do is you're going to have a consultation with that lender, bank, or mortgage broker, and they're going to outline saying, here's where you are, here's where we want to get to, here's what your financial stability, your debt load, and everything need to look like 2 or 3 years out from now. Then you're going to go back to your real estate agent, and the real estate agent and the mortgage broker are going to work together saying, this is our client, this is how we're going to help them get to this particular point. And now it's your job as the person, our client, and whomever it is, to go do those things. Maybe it's saving $20,000 a year. Maybe it's not getting that car or getting the car lease payment under your parents and paying your parents behind the table so it's not technically on your debt service, which we've structured a lot of different things like that, right? And as long as you follow your way on the way up there, then about, I'd say 6 months out to before your timeline is, we check in again with the bank or mortgage broker to say, are we on track still given the situation of everything? If you are, we're going to get you pre-qualified at that time, and we're going to get a rate that's going to lock in to last 120 days. Then that's our window for 4 months to have to start shopping. We find a home, we buy a home, and then you move into it. So again, number one, you're going to connect with a real estate agent who's going to get you in contact with a mortgage broker, and then going to get you a plan in play. And then your real estate agent and you are going to stay connected with that plan. And when the time comes up, get you requalified, start shopping, buy your home. It's as simple as that.
As simple as that.
As simple as that.
You personally, being 27, how many homes do you own?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I own my home. I own 2 investment properties that are currently built. And then I have 4 pre-construction properties that are not yet built, right? We have one closing in February, and the other 3 I can't even think off the top of my head, but that's my whole investment portfolio.
Sweet. So you are a huge, of course, you're biased.
Sure.
Between renting, because there's a lot of people who actually explain why it does not make sense to buy a home.
I agree.
Yeah, you agree. Where do you draw the line? When is it better to buy a home? When is it better to rent?
I do believe that buying a home, it is not an investment. It is a capital loss. So I'll give you an example. My home where I have my wife and my kids, that's a capital loss. Even if it's worth $3 million one day, how do I get the money out? I have to leverage it against myself. I have to pay interest, or I have to sell the property. My investment properties, however, properties that I don't live at, they're having equity appreciation. They're having cash flow come in and pay me monthly, and I can refinance the property, take the money tax-free, and then I can repurpose it. That is not a poor decision. However, I value the fact that I have my wife and kids in a great community where they're close to their friends and I'm close to my family, and I'm willing to pay for that. And I use my investment properties to help offset my capital losses. Okay, so I do believe that owning a home is a debt to some pedigree, but it's what's worth it to you, right? If you know, hey, I'm going to live here for 25 years and pay it off. Okay, if you're renting, that's okay, but where are you putting that other money? If you're going to come to me at the end of 25 years and still have nothing to show for it, what are you passing down to your kids? What do you have to show to your name? You don't really have anything, right? If you're taking some money and you're investing into a stock market, S&P 500, whatever it might be, and I don't know who your audience is, so that's why I threw the S&P 500 out there, but essentially, as long as you're having something that, like I said, at least meeting inflation, if not a little bit, at least you're at par holding some level of stability. But yeah, if you can get into the market, I would strongly encourage that you do. It's just a better sense of equity protection, and especially in Canada, your primary residence, in the event that you do sell it, it's tax-free. So if I did decide to sell my family home one day that is worth $3 million, I sell it, I get all the money tax-free, right? And if you look at the price I paid to acquire it and the monthly payments over the years, it's still, I end up ahead. Plus I got the peace of mind of saying, this is my home. My kids live here, my wife lives here, and this is my home, right? So that would be my take on that answer.